Okay, so this is what I know. You know that I usually wake up and drink coffee and read my Bible. But this morning I woke up to hear my Miss Brooklyn. Sound like Brooklyn, Gary. Like saying, "Hey mom," from like below me. I don't know if she was in the basement or if what was it, if it was maybe just another child that sounded like Brooklyn. But it's very alarming to wake up to, as to like you can't even get into my basement at this time. I've asked for everyone to stay off my property, out of my house. Um, I've gone through this many times, and when I can get into the basement, it's like whoever's there is suddenly moved. So I can't chase after this stuff. I know, like, my children, Brooklyn is what child I raised. I raised her. She was kidnapped on November 3rd, 2021. Um, I know this anyway, so then I went for a walk, and I am sitting here and on the internet this morning I saw Kim Kardashian and 50 Cent's like, he slept with 6 people to get to me, and Kim Kardashian is in the jail and talking to a prisoner, and I don't know, all of this crap. And I just wanted to say this. Kim Kardashian, you can't be a lawyer, honey, because listen, there's a bar exam you have to be able to pass when you go through law school, and like this whole baby bar thing they made up, that's not legal. It's not legit. You just can't just be like, well, I'm Kim Kardashian, I can't pass the bar exam, so can we give her like can we just cheat for her and call it a baby bar? I do know I was enrolled in law school, but I didn't know. I was at my friend's house one night, and they like logged onto my school account as I was falling asleep, and they're like, "Oh, thank you for joining us today." I'm like, "Am I in law school? Who enrolled me in law school?" But I do know this: I'm Kanye's Kim. I was Marshall's Kim. I was Hugh Hefner's Kim. And if you could do math, that means I was 10. Right? This whole crap that's going on right now with the basement is putting my mind of JonBenet Ramsey. So Susan and Debbie probably are responsible. I'm going to say are most definitely responsible for the death of JonBenet Ramsey. Rest in peace, beautiful baby. But all this putting makeup on kids, look what they've done. They dressed me up and married me to Hugh Hefner at 10. And that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is they started way before that. Like, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and they're using drugs that they're going around telling everybody they control us because they've given us drugs while we think we're sleeping, and then they tell us what to do and say. So when we're little kids, they dressed us up and told us we're princesses or whatever, telling us what to say. And I guess like this little girl I met the other day is Ukrainian, and she's 34, I'm 43. So I'm thinking, I've seen this research that, when we are in our mom's uterus, we have eggs inside of our ovaries at that time. So anyways, I'm thinking when I was 7, I was kind of probably small. So they probably were doing their little things with like shorter men. Yeah. And then they would say, oh, well, she's this or she's that. Like they're doing with my kids. Like they're like, we don't know if they're kids or not. They're kids. They're just really smart. They're very, very intelligent. They're children. Yes. If you have to ask yourself, I don't know if this is a child or not. It's a child. Okay? I mean, just the fact that you're like, I'm not sure if this is a child, then that should tell you it's off limits. It's a child. We even have laws that say you can't even have sex dolls. It's illegal to have sex dolls that look like children. So all of this crap I'm just putting together, like I've heard all these rumors, like they ignored this stuff happening to my children because they were told they're midgets. They're told they're just short. They were told they're undercover cops. They were told they're robots. Then they were told they're dolls. Whatever they can get people to believe to keep doing their pedophile shit. That's what they say, basically. And So yeah, they dress us up as real small children, and then telling us what to say because they have all this technology and they, all their tricky, sneaky little ways to do it. They give us these drugs that make us want to do whatever they tell us to do, and then we don't remember it. So they're marrying minors off to people, producing children, selling the children, not checking up on these children. And then anyways, I'm Kanye's Kim. I'm Marshall's Kim. I was Hugh's Kim. And it's a lot more than that. But let's just start there. When I say Kim, Kim, means keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't be up under me. Don't let people bring children in my home up under me. Don't be confused. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. If it looks like a child, you think for a second it's a child. It is. Okay? So let's just say, this is not okay. And y'all need to knock it off. Knock it off with the confusion. Because the truth is, you guys, half of you aren't confused. It's just like, don't want to admit to what you know or give up what you have, or you're scared to lose something, or you're just like, maybe if I just stay confused, I won't have to get involved because it won't be as bad as I know it is. It's pretty freaking bad. It's all really freaking bad. Anyways, and I was gonna say all this stuff, like they say the kids are undercover cops. The only thing that these people are trying to cover is pedophilia, rape, murder, things like that. So all this undercover stuff can go out the fucking window. Nobody needs a cover. I mean, if you're trying to say you're gonna blow my cover, then we're gonna start looking at you really freaking hard about what are you trying to cover up, huh? See, because this battle's been won. We've known what's been going on for years. I remember being a little girl and hearing that Hollywood was molesting kids. I remember. I was so small. That was back Bill Cosby days when I was watching Reading Rainbow and Polka Dot Door. So, yeah, I remember that. And then nobody ever spoke of it again for years. Oh, yeah, until Bill Cosby got framed. Yeah. And, like, who even was that? What did they do with original Bill Cosby? Seriously. And then it's like, okay, so you guys are busted and you're mad at the victims because you're busted. Like, look, I have an orphanage. I know I do. I have an orphanage. It has people from all over the world. It has snipers to keep the bad guys out. It is staffed with the most righteous of people. And y'all will never find these kids. Never. Because you can't even keep me safe at night. You can't even keep me safe in my own fucking home. They paid $3 billion. $3 billion for me to be in this apartment. An upstairs apartment that I've asked no one to be in the living quarters downstairs. I gave specific instructions that they could only be in if they were Homeland Security. These people are not Homeland Security, let me tell you. And they're not supposed to be here. I shouldn't be waking up to hearing children crying. That's not acceptable. And Susan and Debbie just need to go to prison. I'm not sure why it hasn't happened yet. I am not sure why I haven't been notified of this yet. I understand that Susan and Deborah have went around giving orders to police. They don't even have the authority to do these things, but they have been. And they tell them, remember, you don't care. Tell people, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. That, like, when the people call with an emergency, they're in their ear like, no, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. It's real. They really do that. It was funny when I woke up. I did not feel like I was sexually assaulted during the night. I don't know if I was or not. So that's a good thing. However, it's not good to wake up to hear the voice of your missing child and not know where to find her. Very triggering, very alarming, not cool. But the bottom line is, Susan and Deborah, let's talk about them for a minute. Let's talk about who they are. So Susan was my fake mom. They called her a gold digger. She was very promiscuous. She didn't know how to cook very well. She was always absent. She wasn't ever around. She wasn't a mother. We were left alone a lot. And she traveled and married all these rich men that, like, our grandfather's ages and stuff. And they weren't even nice to us or want anything to do with us. When she worked, she would go to the bar straight after work and just stay there drinking all night. If I ever need anything, I knew the number to the bar. It was called Shenanigans. I'll call and say, is my mommy there? And they would say, oh yeah, hold on. And she'd say, if they're hungry, there's leftover spaghetti in the refrigerator. And not to bash anyone, but she liked all these brand spaghetti sauce, and I'm not sure she even ever used meat in her spaghetti. So it wasn't good the first time, and it was really nasty, reheated all week. On Friday, it was always, here's $20, get a pizza. And, you know, so there's Susan's story. She's the one that confronted me, asked me if I'd be willing to let her use me to make babies, and then in turn she would give me $10,000 per baby, and I told her no. And let's think, this conversation was when I was 12, so that's pedophilia. No matter how she looks at it or how she thinks about it, it's pedophilia. Then Deborah. Okay, Susan, let's go on with Susan one more time. Susan owes the IRS a whole lot of money. Her name's Susan Montgomery, 11956. Last four of her socials, 1234. She is in debt to the IRS a lot of money. So she has no money, because if she did, she wouldn't owe the IRS. I had a brother. He told me he wasn't really my brother. They found me on a rock. Regardless, I was raised to believe I had a brother named David. David has nothing to do with Susan. I have nothing to do with Susan. We don't want her around our children. So she was never a good mother. So she's not, like, I just heard her outside my house when I woke up this morning, but I haven't talked to her for years. So you do the math on that one. Nasty. Get out of here, Susan. All right? Go to prison for what you've done to our family. Then let's go with Deborah Mathers. Deborah Mathers, I don't know if you've ever heard Marshall's song, Cleaning Out My Closet. She was abusive to Marshall. She pulled him out of bed, and there's a lot. It's his story to tell, but she was abusive. She was a drug addict. I can't really speak for her, but if you listen to Clean Out My Closet, he talks about how she's an awful mom. And then he even goes on later to make the song Headlights, where he's like, I no longer play that song Cleaning Out My Closet on the radio. Basically, like, I'll always love you from afar. It's like, I still don't want you in my life. I apologize for the song Clean Out My Closet, but you're still not welcome in my life, and I'll always love you from afar. Meaning, get the fuck away from me. I'm not gonna. And I kind of feel Marshall in this is where, and also Debbie on Marshall's lyrics. Debbie was a pedophile. He had a stepfather that there's lyrics about that the stepfather, it's like, it goes something like, can't we just play with Teddy Ruxpin instead? After I fuck you in the butt, get some head. Come on, we're going out back. I want my dick sucked in the shed. You see what I'm saying? So, like, his mom might have been way worse than my mom. But either way, they're still both bad people. And I was going to say, I kind of understand how he went from Clean Out My Closet to Headlights, because I went back and forth with this Susan character because I wasn't aware she was my fake mother. And because I believe in the Bible, there was many times that these scriptures kept going over, like, honor your mother and father. And I'm like, okay, how do I honor her? Like, I'm not an exception. Like, God wrote this rule for everyone. And how do I continue to honor her, even though she murdered my son, even though she stole my children, even though she's a pedophile and she just seeks to destroy my life? So I reached out and I apologized. Like, listen, Mom, I'm sorry. I haven't always spoke highly of you, but, now that I realize she's not my mother, I'm like, fuck all that conviction that I felt just because I was a great person. Just because I read my Bible, and it's just trying to wrap my mind around, okay, how does this apply to me in my situation? So like, and the Bible is like, obey your parents in the Lord. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. So like, we have to be careful when we're preaching to our children about obeying your parents, because someone that's a fake mommy is not your children. Obey your parents in the Lord. That's not your parent in the Lord, especially if you were stolen from your real mommy. That fake mommy is not your parent in the Lord. So yeah, I'm just saying, even when I kind of apologized to my mother, like, then after that, it was like, or Susan, let's call her Susan. I call her like once a year and say, oh, happy Mother's Day, or, whatever, but it was not any type of relationship. It was just like, okay, I didn't know she wasn't my mom yet, and I just was trying to do what was biblically right. However, we have not been in contact for very many years. She's not a part of my life. I know there's been reports of her coming in my home while I'm sleeping at night, which is a big, big problem. That's a problem. I'm 43 years old. I don't need any mommy. But, I can't wait to meet my real one. And I still think Marshall has passed away. It was sad. I'm finding out all of these rumors that, I've just put away for years were true. And I heard in 2005 he died, and he left me his estate, left everything to me. And he probably did, because his lyrics got a lot darker after that, and he believed Debbie and her little pedophile boyfriend went ahead and took over the identity of Marshall. And this is why we're seeing these problems, because Marshall was a respected person. People loved Marshall. Marshall was a good guy. And now what we're seeing is he is being blamed for pedophilia. See what I mean? And his lyrics just got yucky. Like, stay wide awake, really. The whole lyric about now she's pregnant and gay, begging to stay. Not gay, but Debbie would really like for me to be gay, because I really do know that Debbie Mathers is in love with me. And she's gay, and she has raped me while I'm sleeping. But then Stay Wide Awake, is it talks about another song. It's like, yes, she's sound asleep, but I can see she wants me. So he's talking about raping a woman while she's asleep. He's talking about pulling triplets. He says as soon as he pulls the triplets out her whip, he disintegrates them. So he's talking about a woman being pregnant, a woman that he's raping while she's asleep, pregnant with triplets, and he pulls them out of her and disintegrates them. I'm talking about stick an umbrella up in her. Why not make her pussy wider? Really dark lyrics. What was the other one that came out? So he died in 2005. It didn't put out a record for 4 years. So 2009 record, I forget the name of it. It's really freaking dark. I don't recommend it. I went out and bought it because I was a huge fan. I love Marshall's music. After that one, though, I did not listen to his music for quite some time. A world where only some will go, stay wide awake. Yeah, it's really, really, really dark. Really, really dark. And, all of his older stuff, it was never nothing like that, ever. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure that Debbie and Susan did this stuff all of our lives. That they dressed us up, took us out. Susan used to tell me all the time, when I became like a teenager and I had a boyfriend and stuff, and she was like, well, make sure you use birth control, because remember, one ejaculation is enough to impregnate the entire world, to impregnate every woman in the entire world. So why is she thinking of things like this? Sounds like they, I know I have a son with Marshall that is 6 now. So apparently, like, they went around, and not only did they like my reproductive organs, they kind of kept all of the husband's reproductive fluids around as well. It's really nasty type thing, because I really believe in my heart, some of these people, a lot of these people weren't stupid, so they caught on to them, and they did a lot of murdering to cover up what they had done. So now I'm real concerned about my children. I know, like, I'm asking God, just take them to my orphanage. Like, all of them, none of you are capable of taking care of my child, because you don't even have a clue what you're freaking messing with. They're like, I know you want to play like they don't know I need help, but there's rumors that the police are called every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes. If the police are ever called every 5 minutes, that's time for action. That's time for defining what the problem is, coming up with plans, courses of action, and a resolution. And then it's even, they said they call every 5 minutes, and then as soon as they come, they're sent away. They say, we're good. Their criminals run out and be like, oh no, everything's fine. It's like, okay, and you guys never thought we should kind of investigate why this is happening every 5 minutes. See, it's not, they're not confused. They're not confused at all. They just don't care. And you know what? I'm not interested if you care. Let me just say this. I don't give a fuck if you give a fuck. We're way past whether you care or not. At this point, it's what is legal? What are the repercussions? How do we restore justice? How do we restore our judicial system? How do we get the cops to stop saying, we don't care. We don't know what to do. What should we do? Why would our cops ask our citizens, what should we do? Why have the cops treated the criminals better than they treated pregnant women that have called for reports of domestic abuse? Why? Why are they sitting around talking to these people that flat out admit to murder, admit to rape, admit to home invasion, admit to kidnapping, and they just sit around and chit-chat with them and giggle and think it's funny? There's nothing funny about it. There's not a thing funny about what's going on right now.